It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. My lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold.
Good morning, everybody. Today's October 8th, and I want to welcome you to episode 49 of Coffee and Cloud Native. 49, that's crazy. My name is Adrian Goins. Every night, I and my army of bots scour the internet for news and content related to Kubernetes and Cloud Native, and every day you'll find me here to share the bits that I find interesting. It's a curated list of content. I go through around 200 submissions every night, and I select just a handful of them for the next day's show. These are the tools that I myself would use, and I'm excited to share them with you. If you're watching now, if you're watching now, live on Twitch, click the follow button for the channel. If you're watching in the future, you're watching on YouTube, so click the thumbs up button on the video so that YouTube shares it with other people. You can also join the community site at, well, you know what, all the links are in the video description. Live chat happens on Twitch live chat happens on Twitch or in the live chat channel on Discord, and this week it's also happening on YouTube. This week's like a transition week. And then there's a bot that relays between them, so you can join whichever is most convenient for you and chat there. In fact, there's just so many ways to join the live chat that if you want to come hang out, it's really easy. This morning, we have lots of people in the chat from all over the place. That's great. Sajad, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Peter, good morning. Gesby? Not sure how we're going to say that. We're going to say Gesby, because Gesb is too many consonants. Nuno, good morning, my friend. Michael O'Grady, hi. Wifebot, nice to see you. Captain Justin, hello. Kyracy, hello. Thank you all for joining. Vito, good morning. All right, we have tons of stuff to talk about today. I have to do news and updates. I don't have it in the show notes. News and updates. The poll for, you know what? I'm just going to pull that up. I do this every morning. I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should actually load the community site so that I can show you guys stuff. The poll for the course that I will be giving away this month currently has 27 votes, and Kubernetes Mastery by Brett Fisher is in the lead by 2. Come vote. I'm going to actually close this down later today so that we can prepare for the actual giveaway tomorrow. So yeah, join the site, cast your vote. Voting's important, right? Also, over here, I tried something new yesterday where I posted an article here that actually contains all of the links for everything in the show. So if you want the links now, you're gonna have to come to the community site, look at the article for the show for the day, and all of the links will be there in the top. But then I go on to talk about stuff, and I just, going along with the coffee theme, we have dark roast, which is like the really heavy stuff. And then we have light roast, which is the lighter stuff. And then we have decaf, which is just like news and stuff. Not to say that decaf is like less than anything. It's totally not. I just was trying to... It's really all I could come up with, short of like pulling out, Ethiopian Sumatran blend, 14% Arabica, which nobody cares about. Well, we care about, but not here. So yeah, there you go. I have a really great article that I wrote last night that'll be posted after this. The objective being to try and get more stuff up in less time, because this stuff just takes a really long time for me to do this. And now, whoa, I don't want to press that button. I want to press that button. And we want to start talking about stuff. That's a cool picture, huh? The Turing Pi. Now, I warn you, this article is filled with affiliate links. So if you don't like that, watch out what you click on. In fact, all of his links to the Turing Pi take you to his affiliate page, not to the Turing Pi thing. Anyway, you can go to turingpi.com. I think, or turingpi.io. I don't know where you can go. Whatever. This is a board that allows you to take Raspberry Pi compute modules and cluster them together. It has GPIOs for all of them. In fact, let's just go to the Turing Pi site instead of to here. turingpi.com. Yes, there we go. It's affordable for what it does. And so you've got 7 40-pin GPIOs. You've got 8 USB ports, one for every single one of the boards. You've got a single HDMI port and then the power in and a single Ethernet port, and it does all of the magical consolidation-y stuff for you. If you are at all interested in doing cluster computing, you can buy those cases that are like, super tall and they've got all this stuff. You got to wire them together and you can, stick a switch in there and stuff. And that's also totally fine. If you want something that's a little bit, more condensed, take a look at this. I like it, but I have some thoughts. First of all, be warned that in this gentleman's article, the thing that got me really excited when I saw this was this. Imagine having 28 cores and up to 224 gigabytes of RAM to play with. And I was like, wait a minute, really? Like they make 32 gigabytes of RAM on a Raspberry Pi? No. And so I went and dug around and no, they don't. What they do make are those Pi 3B modules with 32 gigabytes of eMMC flash. It's a hard drive. It's not RAM. They only have 1 gigabyte of RAM. It doesn't make it any less cool. It just means that I'm not going to swap out my Protectly nodes that have 4 cores and 32 gigabytes of RAM for something that has 28 cores and 7 gigabytes of RAM, because I won't be able to do as much with it. However, if you want to do anything with clustering, I mean, this is wonderful. There was something else about it that... right. So I've done stuff with Raspberry Pis before. Hey, Kai leveled up to level 6. Congratulations. I gave Kai some levels yesterday because he's been handing me tool of the day suggestions, as you'll see later on. I've done stuff with Pis, and it's more obvious now than it used to be. But if you try to run a Raspberry Pi as an actual computer, you will burn through your SD card. You'll burn through your SD card, and one day your Pi will just stop working. The way to get around that is you can boot off the SD card, or you can actually have it boot directly off of an external USB hard drive, which can be an SSD. We're running out of letters to make acronyms from. And that you basically, you don't want write exhaustion on the SD card itself. The MMC flash that they have here will have more life in it, but if you are aggressively logging or doing stuff, you will eventually burn through that as well. And because it's a standalone module, I don't have a picture of it here, but because it's a standalone module, you can't just like pop in another SD card. So be aware of that. They're still not, the Pi 3B Plus compute modules are like $40, so that's pretty cool too. Anyway, I found this. Ta-da! Here you go. Have fun. Ketchup, our friend Alex Ellis, pinged me yesterday and said that he merged in a change that allows you to specify the K3S channel when you're deploying K3S with Ketchup. I use Ketchup all of the time, and Ketchup is always pinned to a version of K3S. So if they release a new version of K3S before Alex updates Ketchup, then you have to manually specify the version that you want to install. This allows you to say, you know what, just install whatever is stable. So by adding the K3S channel flag, it makes it a lot easier to fire up Ketchup without having to be like, oh, I wonder what the latest version of K3S is, and go and look and bring it down and find the release name and stand on one foot and pat your head. You just say K3S channel stable, or latest, or testing is the other one that you can use. There's some other fixes in here for some other stuff, but that was the most important one. Hey, look at that. And he's preparing for the embedded etcd replacing DQ Lite. That's cool. Okay. Kai says, Nuno, I can almost feel your breath. And I just saw I can almost feel your breath, and I was like, oh, is he like talking about me drinking my coffee here? Okay. Yesterday we had Pixie on. Pixie is a new observability platform that exited stealth and was given a whole bunch of money. A lot more money than people usually get in a Series A round. Well, it was a surprise. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not saying they didn't deserve it or that they don't have great plans. I've been talking to Shipwreck about Pixie, and he told me yesterday that they have this event, which I totally missed. This is actually happening today. So it's free. go ahead and register, and they've got some pretty cool people coming to the event. These two guys, the co-founders, they come from really cool places. I don't know who this guy is. I think he's somebody kind of important in the Kubernetes space. I see his name up. Go listen to Kelsey. Kelsey's going to come in and tell you why Pixie is great for the observability community and for the cloud native and Kubernetes community in general. You get some intro to Pixie, and then some Q&A, and then some actual walkthroughs of like, now you've installed it, what do you do? So that you can get it up and running. They have a free forever community tier, and I still think that while they're in beta, their enterprise tier is also free. Still, I haven't been able to go back and look and find that, but whatever. If I'm wrong, so what? Oh, Shipwreck says, Pixie blows my mind in regards to Golang observability. That's a huge testimonial. Shipwreck's a really smart dude. This platform, this whatever it is, and I myself have not deployed it. If you didn't watch yesterday's show, the thing that got my attention is that you can do distributed tracing of your applications without changing your code. And that's big. I was describing working with Jaeger as like pouring pool acid in my eyes, or salt and then pool acid or something like that. So I too am excited by this. I won't be able to attend the event, so I hope that one of you can and let us know how it is. Yay! Captain Justin reaches level 1. Woohoo! Oh! I'm going to take that off the screen really quick. Hold on a second. I'm going to go to the main camera. We do lots of stuff with chaos engineering. I had a video back in January on using kube invaders. In one of the early episodes, I covered clusteroids. I love these things where you can play video games to kill your pods. It's not exactly chaos engineering, but well, I mean, I guess it is because you're killing stuff, and it's fun. Also, in an earlier episode, I talked about how you can deploy Quake 3 Arena inside of Kubernetes, and I found that from this thing about running Doom in Docker. But before I could get the Doom and Docker thing on the show, it vanished. Literally, like the repo 404'd. I don't know why. But it resurfaced a couple of days ago as a chaos engineering tool. You can now run Doom, and the monsters and creatures are your pods, and you can kill them while playing Doom, which is ridiculous. Oh, Wifebot wants me to sing the Doom song. If any of you familiar with Invader Zim? Invader Zim is it was a cartoon by this guy named Yonan Vasquez. It was funny when it first came out. I just watched his latest video. It wasn't as funny. He also has a comic book series called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. That's pretty weird. Anyway, Zim has a little sidekick here named Gur, and as they're traveling across the galaxy for thousands of years or whatever, Gur sings the Doom song, which I'm not going to sing because it's super annoying and super earworm, and you guys will hate me as later on you'll be singing it to yourself. So Ian says Doom is open source and that Quake may not still be fully open source. I don't know about that either, but that's cool that they open source Doom. Doom was like really ahead of its time, and it's had the longest. Oh, Wojtek wants to know if we can build a CNCN Doom server. Doom has had really long legs. Like, everything comes back to Doom because if you were alive and played it when it came out, it was epic. But not everybody is into Doom. Not everybody likes killing. Not everybody likes zombies or references to hell or things like that, and that's totally cool. How about Minecraft? What? Minecraft? Now this is also chaos engineering-y in that you can actually kill the things that are in there, but you can also just hang out with them. This uses, I'm not going to play the video. So pigs are pods, cows are replica sets, chickens are services, and horses are deployments. And if you kill any of them, the corresponding thing actually gets deleted. Yes. So don't kill your deployments, or probably kill your replica sets, because the deployment should recreate that. Don't kill your services, but you can kill your pods. I don't know why he made those pigs. I would have made the pods into chickens, because pigs are actually surprisingly difficult to kill. Anyway, so yeah, I'll have this linked as well. You can spin up some KubeCraft admin and go hang out with all of your resources in a nice little corral in a Minecraft environment. Peter says that YouTube is being stupid again. Okay, I have the dashboard over here. I can see that I'm streaming at 5 megabits per second, so this is not something like yesterday, but he says I'm sounding like Barry White. I don't know any Barry White songs, but yeah, sorry. Refresh, that's all I can say. Nuno says that it's good for him on YouTube. And, oh, Ian's talking about Wolfenstein. Yes, I think that was actually the original. Okay, everybody else is saying YouTube is fine. So, yeah, Ian. No, sorry, not Ian. Peter. I'm not serenading you. If you just want some regular chaos engineering, our friends over at LitmusChaos released another tutorial yesterday that it's an hour long, and it introduces Litmus probes. And I mean, come on, tell me that this doesn't sound awesome. This video helps you understand the need to build a hypothesis around steady state or desired system behavior and be able to automate the process of gauging, analyzing, and reporting it over the course of a chaos experiment. I want that. Check out the video. LitmusChaos is moving so fast with the new features that they're releasing, the capabilities, the platform in general. Good job, guys. We had Kyverno on the show a while back. This is Kubernetes native policy management. And the actual news here is that they have a new home for, oh, you can't see the location bar. They have a new home for their repo. It used to be under Nirmata/Kyverno, and now it's under Kyverno/Kyverno. So update your stuff, and while you're at it, go give them a star, because they're pretty amazing. I saw this in the news, and I came to check out the repo, and I noted that, hey, they have me. I'm in the README, which thank you, Kyverno. That's very cool. And it was episode 10. Episode 10 was like a year and a billion thousand minutes ago. And since then, I've had some time to look at Kyverno and to look at OPA and to make a decision. And the decision is that if given a choice, I will go with Kyverno. And I haven't deployed any of them yet, but I need to. I need policy management in my Kubernetes clusters. It's one of the things that's on the list of stuff to do. The reason that I will choose Kyverno over OPA is entirely because I don't have to learn another language. And I think that's really important. I mean, Rego is great, it's powerful, I get why it exists, but if you don't have time to learn something new and learning anything new is a perishable skill. If you don't spend the time on it, you will forget it. And so it does you a disservice if you learn it enough to implement it and then don't touch it for 3 months, because you come back, you can't maintain what you built, you don't remember how you did it. I mean, how many of you have ever gone back to a piece of software that you wrote or a script, and you're reading through it and you're like, whoever wrote this was really smart. You're like, whoa, wait, hang on, I wrote this. I don't remember writing any of it. This uses native Kubernetes resources and language to do all of the policy, validation, mutation, injection, all of it. And yeah, so if you're struggling with OPA, remember that Kyverno exists. You can go back to episode 10 and I give a quick overview of its capabilities. Shipwreck says Kyverno versus OPA is like Linkerd versus Istio. The user experience is king. Okay. For me, having to learn a new language, it just falls really far down on the list of other things that I have to do. However, if you are using Rego, Fugue wrote a very cool article. There's a lot of stuff out there that's like getting started with Rego, getting started with OPA, and they're just kind of like how-to guides. These guys start with De Morgan's laws are your best friends, and then they I mean, come on. This basically De Morgan's laws allow you to convert ands into ors. They're logical statements, and then they go on to show you how you can do this with Rego, and how this elevates the. Vito just installed Quake in his cluster. It's really cool. I played it with WifeBot for a little while. It's super addictive. Back to this. Yes. So they give you examples of how to, not how to get started with Rego, but how to really level up what you're creating. There are some limitations in how you can create rules. For example, they talk in here about how rules terminate, like the process terminates when it finds a match. So you can't do recursive rules, but they give you a way to get around that. There are 5 things here, all of which are amazingly powerful, with examples to level up your Rego game. So we'll have that in the description as well. We do a lot of stuff on Kubernetes multi-tenancy using... Sorry. I know I talk and then I look like a crackhead as I just start laughing as I stare over here. I'm watching the chat. Kai suggests that Vito posts the link to his Quake server, and after the stream we can all go shoot each other up. Do it. If it's public, let's do it. Dashboard, stream looking good. Kubernetes multi-tenancy. Using namespaces. We've talked about Loft, Kiosk, Capsule, whatever the one with a really long name. They have it listed down here. Hierarchical namespace controller. And in one of the earlier episodes, I actually gave like I've covered them all, and then I included Kiosk, and I gave like a quick rundown of whatever. This one is new. This is called Katespin. And they're using language that makes them sound actually a lot like Capsule. You have a cluster admin can designate a tenant that controls a namespace, and then the tenant can create spaces that are slices of the namespace and allocate those to users with full isolation and stuff like that, using existing Kubernetes functionality like network policy and what's the other stuff? Resource quota, limit range. But this goes a little bit further. They're doing isolation using gvisor. That, blah, 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 provides a boundary between the application and the host Linux kernel. But here's the cool stuff. Katespin has multi-tenant proxies for Prometheus and Loki, and a multi-tenant operator for Grafana. So you can give access to slices of a namespace and also give them their own multi-tenant Prometheus with isolation, or Loki, or Grafana. And then I was also impressed to see that earlier this year it already integrated with OneInfra, who we also had on the show before. Okay, so you can go back, you can learn about OneInfra, and if you want to expand OneInfra's capability to a multi-tenant environment using namespace slices and whatnot, Katespin. Now, of course, it is not production ready. It is alpha quality. It is blah, blah, blah. But please use it, put it up somewhere, take it for a spin, give them feedback so that they can build it and make it better. From the way that they're talking in this article, they have resources dedicated to it, and they're moving very quickly to try and make it a functional solution. In fact, they're even looking at getting it donated to the CNCF, which is also very cool. If you want to know more about multi-tenancy in Kubernetes, Daniel Theory. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. Daniel Theory is one of the co-founders of Loft. So they are co-founders of DevSpace. So they're the people behind Loft and Kiosk. He writes a lot of stuff on Medium, and he writes a lot about Kubernetes multi-tenancy because his company's products solve that problem. But all of his articles talk about the solution. They talk about, here's like this, for example, a best practices guide to Kubernetes multi-tenancy. He doesn't say the best practice is to use his products. He says, here's how you need to think about the problem. Here's how you need to understand the additional things that stick out of the problem that might catch you off guard. And here's how you need to approach solving them. Oh, and by the way, we have products that do this, but you don't have to use our products. You can use other products as long as they do these things. If you've watched the show for any length of time, you know that I value people who are confident enough in their products that they don't have to shove them down your throat, but who don't also hoard their knowledge and instead share it in a way that benefits the community, whether they're using their products or not. This is why I work here. Daniel Theory, good dude. Oh my gosh, are we gonna end on time? We can't end on time. I only have the tool of the day to talk about. Huh. Dun, dun, dun. I'm gonna look at the chat. Hey! Dan's here. Hey, Dan. I'll be having work at Okay, who's asking something about Lachlan Stone? Okay, well, I don't know what that was. Oh, WifeBot says, what about the giveaway tomorrow? Yeah, okay. There will be a giveaway tomorrow. If you're new to the stream, on Fridays, I give away a Udemy course. There's, as I said in the beginning, there's a poll happening on the CNCN community site right now where we're voting on what course I'll be giving away. Last month, I gave away Kubernetes Mastery by Brett Fisher. So far, it looks like that's the one I'm going to be giving away for the month of October. The way that it works, and tomorrow's going to be a little bit weird because we're simultaneously streaming to Twitch and YouTube, but we need 50 people watching the stream live. 50 people. And that'll be, we were able to do it with 50 people just on YouTube. We were getting well over 50. Tomorrow we'll just add, because we're all capable of doing basic math, right? So we'll add the number of people watching on YouTube and on Twitch. If we cross that 50 user threshold, 50 viewer threshold, it triggers the giveaway. The giveaway happens in the live chat. And unfortunately, even though the Restream bot is like restreaming stuff, it's going to happen in Discord. So if you are not already in the Discord server, join the community site. You can get a link from that. There's links in the video description. It's all over the place. Join Discord. Be in the live chat channel, and we'll trigger the giveaway, and there's like a little emoji that you have to click on to say, yes, I want to participate. So if you don't want to win, don't click the emoji. If you do want to win, click the emoji. You got to be in the chat, and we'll run the giveaway, and then the bot will randomly pick somebody who clicked the little emoji. That's happening tomorrow. Ian won't be able to join us. Okay. Once everything moves over, we may even... Well, I don't know. I won't talk about what we may do in the future. Tomorrow, that's how the giveaway is going to work, and we'll see how it goes. Now, if we don't get to 50 people, there's no giveaway. So share this with your friends, and, well, heck, share it with people who aren't your friends. Share it with the people you ride, the bus with, or I guess nobody... Do people ride buses still? They take trains to work? We all work from home, right? Share it with your kids. The fun thing about having to click the little emoji to enter the giveaway is you can only click it once. If you click it twice, you de-enroll yourself. That's pretty cool. If you've already won previously, please don't enter again. If you've won and you win again, I'm gonna just roll another winner. If you are somebody who watches that doesn't have any use for Kubernetes education training stuff, and you don't know anybody who's in this field that you can give it to, please don't enter the giveaway, because that takes the opportunity away from somebody else who can directly benefit from it. Okay, great. I've wasted enough time that now I can talk about the tool of the day, which I left up on the screen, so you all already know what it is. Dun, dun, dun. This. I don't know how to say it. Diun. It is the Docker Image Update Notifier. This came from Kai. Thank you, Kai. And it does exactly what it says. It will monitor repos, registries. It'll monitor repos in a registry. It'll keep track of container images and send you a notification when they are updated, including if they just update latest. So it probably tracks the hash. The GitHub page is actually pretty boring, but if you go to their documentation page, it's rather nice. Let me zoom that in for you. And I will, yes, Docker Image Update Notifier. I will save you some trouble. If you go to the installation page, you can see that it gives you 3 options for installing it. You can run it as a standalone Docker service, you can run it as a binary, you can run it as a Linux service. Where's the Kubernetes? I don't want to run it as a Linux service, I want to run it as a Kubernetes thing. Workload. I'm just going to say I want to run it as a Kubernetes. How's that? But here's where you get saved. If you come down to, not there, providers, and then click on Kubernetes, it will actually tell you how to install this with all of the RBAC into a Kubernetes cluster, and then how to annotate the pods that you want it to care about, at which point it will, do all of the stuff that it does. It's Swarm. Does anybody know what Swarm is? I don't know what that is. Well, we'll just ignore it. If you come down here, was that mean? I don't know. I see posts go by on Twitter where people are like, here's how to get started with Docker Swarm. And I'm like, rm-fr. So as far as the notifications, it sends stuff to everywhere. You can send it to, PubSubQ, Discord, yay, Godify, Mail, Matrix, Rocket Chat, Script, Slack, Teams, blah, Telegram. Telegram? I don't want this coming to Telegram. Or arbitrary webhooks. So basically, if you've got anything that's connected to anything, you can get a notification when your stuff is ready to be updated. I think this has the best application if you are interested in getting some kind of awareness, but you can't deploy a GitOps solution. So at least disconnecting, getting notifications into something is helpful. So yeah, there you go. Tool of the day. Diun. Captain Justin says Swarm has obviously won. Yeah. Yeah, what he said. Totally. Oh, Kai says that he hooked it up with a script to pushover. Do you guys know about pushover? Ooh. Okay. I don't remember if it's pushover.io or pushover.com or pushover.whatever. Pushover.net. I remember when we just had 3 top-level domains and life was so much easier. Now get off my lawn. Pushover is great. They also have a very, very generous free tier. I have this hooked up to, I wrote a script. So I live in Chile. I know, we're over time. Last thing, I promise. I live in Chile. And Chile has this public notification service when there's but Chile's really weird. It's very long and thin with mountains on one side and the ocean on the other, and we get a lot of really weird weather where weather will come in off the ocean and then dump a ton of rain on the mountains, which then runs down the mountains and runs back out to the ocean and causes flooding and all sorts of other stuff. We're also one of the most seismically active countries on the planet, if not the most seismically active. So there's a public awareness service. Oh, we also have volcanoes. Hooray. There's a service that sends out alerts, but they don't actually send out alerts. They just post them to Twitter, or they have a website. Well, what the hell good is that? So I wrote something that monitors their stuff for the region that we live in, converts it to English, and then when there's an alert of a certain category that we care about, sends a notification to our phones via pushover. And this just happens via, they have IFT here. I use a self-hosted similar thing called Hugin. So it happens all inside of Hugin, out in DigitalOcean. It monitors the stuff, and it sends it via pushover to my phones. Super reliable. You can build entire services with it. It looks like Kai is using this for the notifications from Diun. If you're looking for a push system for stuff, can't go wrong with pushover. Okay. Now I gotta, what do I do now? Oh, I end the show. I end the show. Thank you for watching today's CNCN. Seriously, if you liked what you saw today, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch to get notifications when I start streaming. Remember that starting next week, I am only live streaming on Twitch, and then I'll be uploading the videos to YouTube afterward. So if you go to YouTube and it looks like I'm not there, I am, sort of, but it's called Twitch. All of the timestamps will be in the video description in about an hour, and then links will be posted to the free community site at community.cncn.io. If you have something that you would like for me to consider for the show, hit me up and let me know. You can mention me in a post in the community site. You can ping me on Discord. You can ping me on Twitter. Just don't show up at my door. Don't do it. If I mentioned a tool that you use, please tell everyone how you like it. Like I used to say, tell me how you like it, but join the community site. Tell other people. Respond to the article where I'm posting all of the stuff from today, and tell people, yeah, I use this, or I don't, or it's terrible, or check this out, or whatever. The people who create these tools watch the show, and they also lurk in the chat. Like, I don't call them out, but I have side conversations with them. Your experiences help them build better products, and they're very interested in hearing what you have to say. Have a great day, everyone. Keep learning. Thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next show. Bye.